Hello and welcome to another Overlord lore video, and today we are going to take a look at what happened to the Elves of Erya Uzruth, or to be more specific, what happened to them after they were freed from the oppressor and being taken into the 6th floor of Nazarick. So you have guessed it, this is part 2, and part 1 of the video is linked down in the video description. But before we're going to take a closer look at what happened to the elves and basically where they come from, let's take a closer look at my Patreons and thank them for supporting this channel. Furthermore, I say thanks to all users of the YouTube thanks function for making one-time donations. Also please check out my video about evil villains. It's also linked down in the video description. Now, with all of that said, we will start by describing the life of the 3 former elf slaves before they came to Nazarick. First and foremost, the life in the forest is a hard one, and so very dangerous. Therefore, elves built their homes via magic on treetops in order to avoid the many dangers on the ground of the forest. And when I'm saying that life is dangerous, I'm not talking about your average dangerous forests filled with wolves and bears and poisonous snakes, and the occasional not sanctioned growing site of a certain herbal medicine. But I'm talking about all of that, but also about gigantic beasts, twice the size of a bear, carnivorous worms that burst out of the ground and that can envelop and swallow an armed knight in one bite. I'm talking about ogres and goblins and many other species that will see the elves as prey at the best of times. So a treehouse in elven society is not some sort of pleasant childhood thing, but a bare necessity for survival. And even while they are living within magic-crafted tree homes, life is still pretty short sometimes, because spiders, the size of Shelob, are stalking even the highest areas of the trees in order to prey on the elf population. And while the tree leaves and the foliage grants a fairly good cover from flying predators, they are still able to get lucky on the occasion. The 3 elves described their homes as so dangerous that it was simply an impossibility to actually live in an elven treetop village without losing one of your fellow villagers to predators at the very least once a year, but oftentimes much more frequently. Now, on the plus side, while the elves are reproducing at a rate of maybe 1 kid every 10 years or so, taking their long lives into account, and the fact that Mara and Aura appear to be 10-year-old kids, but they are actually in their 70s, age-wise, at least at the start of the Overlord series, this alone would imply that elven fertility rate is akin to the German-speaking Amish population in America or Mennonite communities in Paraguay. But while the population of the Amish doubles every 20 years, and therefore they are said to become as large as 465 million people in the year of 2250, which is a vision for the future I definitely haven't thought of yet, the elven population doesn't seem to expand that much, if not at all. My point with all of this being that the forest of Evasha is so dangerous that even a double-digit birth rate can barely replace the losses that the elven population is suffering. Now, with movement in the region being fairly difficult, the freed elves were not that knowledgeable about geography or even the extent of their territory. The only other place of importance they could confirm exists is the capital city of the elves, that is also the only one built on the ground near lake and not in the top of trees. And given all of these dangers, the elves were really, and I mean really happy to being able to stay in the 6th floor of the Great Tomb, where they are safe from any kind of predation, where the meals are so easy to come by and where the work is easy and surprisingly rewarding, because given the fact that Aura and Mare are having 2 different colored eyes, which is a sign of royalty in elven society, the freed elves are thinking of the twin floor guardians as royalty, and are more than happy to be elevated to such a worthy position, while Aura and Mare are slightly annoyed by how much the elves want to take care of the two. Additionally, they really enjoy the food that is offered in Nezarec. The drinks especially are much sweeter than basically everything that they know. So Einzelgon, consider that food, much like it did in the Dwarf Kingdom, might be a powerful tool to develop the soft power of Nezarec within the realm of the elves. The sheer amount and quality of the food that the Great Tomb of Nezarec can produce, now that it has absorbed the Kingdom of Rhea's ties, was in Einzelgon's mind quite the powerful tool, and therefore Einz was very happy that he had spared the elves and treated them well. And of course, the ears of the 3 elves were also healed completely, meaning that the damage that Erya had done to them, at least on a physical level, had been healed completely. And from a mental standpoint, the elves quite literally felt at home at the 6th floor, to the point that to them, even the question of how elves live were a bit odd, given the fact that Aura and Mare lived in a gigantic tree that was more wide than tall, and from the elves' own perspective, the home of Aura and Mare had clearly been created with all but the most advanced of elven magic. So from the perspective of the elves, they were now serving royalty in the most fantastic and safest place they had ever seen. And what will happen to them after they returned home will be told in the 3rd part of this little video series. And with that said, I say thank you very much for watching, and special thanks to Arder Daddy Arder, Bad Guy Ye, Bad Burrito 316, Beezer, Ben C, Brandon D, Chrissy, Crowley 0221, Sia, Crystal Prime, Dead Slime, Death is Mercy, Deathless Dragonlord, Demon Xenomorph 1987, Devin Downen, Ding Dang, Duckwagon, Dunkler Krieger, Dystopia, Dystopia II, Enigmatic Unicorn, Feral Shivan, Guy with Dead Head, Hector Marino, Hoss, Huster, Jacob G, Jana B, Jason, J. Morris, Chromius, Kyle R, Lee K. Long, Legendarius, Lelouch Britannia with a Mustache, Lexus Fox, Lord Nishikian Rai, Lord Touch Me, Love Razor, Mervek, Mr. Shoes, Mr. Tweaker, Michael R, Michael Y, Nope, Oh Hell No, Normal Toad, O'Kill, Overlord General Gasper, Paddy Pantom, Personage, Primus 11, Q-Ne Caracos P, Shergox's Daddy, Shadow Lightning Wolf, Shrine Keeper, Super Tier Magic Batista Bomb, Supreme Cheese, Staris, Ted, Texas Deer, The Orc Warboss, Rocket Smasher, T.E. Wang, Vash Hawkeye, Vegito 27, Venture Fanatic, Wilhelm, Xenokai, and Zonagon. Thanks guys. Anyway, have a nice day, and I hope to see you all again soon under my next video.